Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, May 25th. This is Gina McGuire. We are not expecting any significant impacts to fire potential over the next several days as cool and moist conditions continue across the Great Basin, and all areas still have high fuel moisture along with green grasses with only partial curing in the far southern areas or on south-facing slopes. If we look at the last 24 hours, we did have scattered showers and thunderstorms across most of northern and central Nevada up into northern Utah, Wyoming, and southeast Idaho. And as you can see from the precipitation image on the left, this lightning was accompanied by rainfall. Most areas only saw less than 1/10 of an inch. However, under some of these heavier bands of showers or thunderstorms in northern Nevada and southeast Idaho, anywhere from 2 to 3/10 of rainfall was reported. If we look at the last 7 days, which does not include the rainfall we received yesterday, we have seen precipitation across most of the Great Basin with the exception of parts of western and central and southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip in southwest Utah. However, most areas across Nevada and Utah that did see precipitation, this precipitation was below normal for the last week. The only area where we saw more significant rainfall totals was over Idaho into far northern Utah and into western Wyoming, where this rainfall was considered well above normal for this week in the year. Now looking at fuel conditions across the Great Basin, ERCs are still below the 50th percentile in all areas, however have been rising in some of the drier areas of central and southern Nevada and southwest Utah. Also looking at live fuel moisture has been decreasing across parts of the Great Basin, but is still remaining near to above normal. The current water vapor satellite loop from this morning shows a trough of low pressure extending from the northern Rockies down across the Great Basin, with an area of low pressure also near the southern California coast. This trough will slowly move eastward and still be the focus today for increased showers and thunderstorms. As already mentioned, today significant fire potential will remain low across the Great Basin, but you can see some areas of northern Arizona into western Colorado and central California that are starting to dry out. Looking ahead at the weather today, you can see where the showers and thunderstorms will be occurring on the image on the right, with the most active areas of showers and thunderstorms bringing the most amount of rainfall, located anywhere from the Sierra over central and northeast Nevada up into Idaho, and some snow in the higher elevations of the Sierra and into Wyoming. Further north and south, we'll see lighter amounts of rainfall and more isolated thunderstorm activity, with likely drier conditions over eastern Utah and southern Nevada. If we move into Thursday, the trough of low pressure that was across the Great Basin today will be moving eastward into the Four Corners area, still with some lingering moisture, especially over the eastern half of the Great Basin, and continued low fire potential. On Thursday, winds will remain breezy across the region, but only with gusts 15 to 20 knots, and generally most areas seeing gusts below 15 miles per hour. The image on the right shows the weather. With this trough moving eastward, the showers and thunderstorms will also move eastward and will likely see lesser amounts of overall precipitation on Thursday, with most of the activity over the eastern half of the Great Basin. There still may be a few isolated showers and thunderstorms over the Sierra into western Nevada. By Friday, this trough moves further into the Great Plains. However, another area of low pressure will be dropping south from the Pacific Northwest, still keeping unsettled weather into parts of the Great Basin, and continued cool weather with some moisture keeping low fire potential. On Friday, again, we'll continue to see general winds in the 10 to 15 mile per hour range, with some gusts over 15 miles per hour, but for the most part, light to moderate winds. On Friday, most of that precipitation moves well off to the east, but with that low dropping south, we'll see increased showers and thunderstorms once again across Idaho and still lingering in some areas of Utah and central Nevada, with the heaviest precip across Montana and the central Idaho mountains. If we look at the overall forecast amount of precipitation through Saturday morning, you can see again most of the rainfall will be falling over parts of the central Sierra into central eastern Nevada and Utah, where anywhere from 1/4 to over 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch of total rainfall is expected. Also up over central and southeast Idaho and Wyoming, we'll see similar rainfall amounts. Now looking a little further ahead from this weekend through early next week, we still have low pressure over the northwest, with another weak area of low pressure over southern California, keeping unsettled weather across the Great Basin. However, any showers and thunderstorms will likely produce lesser amounts of rainfall than what we'll see in the next couple of days. With this low in place, we'll continue to see low fire potential across the Great Basin. This trough still sets up with some moisture on Sunday over mainly Idaho, Utah, and northeast Nevada, with still some showers and thunderstorms. As we move into Monday, things finally start to change. We'll still have some lingering moisture over parts of central and southeast Idaho, Wyoming, and far eastern Utah, but a stronger ridge of high pressure is now developing off the west coast, and this will move eastward into the Great Basin as we move into Monday and Tuesday. This will allow for much warmer and drier conditions, with temperatures increasing to a few degrees above normal as we go from early to midweek. This will help start drying out the fuels, especially in some of the western side of the Great Basin. Looking at overall forecast precip amounts from early Saturday morning through Monday morning, and again you can see still some precipitation over eastern Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, and central Idaho, but again lesser amounts than what we'll see over the next couple of days. If we move further out into the first week in June, and we'll likely see warmer temperatures and drier conditions emerge over parts of the northwest and the northern side of the Great Basin, with much of the cooler and wetter activity moving off to the east. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the email on the screen or follow us on Twitter. Thank you for listening.